Hello, good people. This is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker, coming back at you live once again from the Lone Star State with another edition of the Media Mike Speaks. All right, good people. This is another one of my episodes when judges go wild, judges gone wild. Okay, this story comes to me out of Ohio by one of my subscribers who's keeping me abreast of all these things going on in the legal profession or judicial profession. Here's another one that's probably about to bite the dust. Out of the grand old state of Ohio. This woman, juvenile court judge, Kim A. Brown, and we're going to talk about another juvenile court judge out of Tennessee also. Now, she is accused. She's had complaints filed on her, alleging, or I would say, that she required a litigant in a divorce case to sign a parenting agreement without consulting with his attorney. Now, according to the ethics committee, I would say, they're saying this judge, Kim A. Brown, violated 3 provisions of the Code of Judicial Conduct by her actions, according to the complaint. Among those provisions is one that states a judge may encourage parties to a proceeding and their lawyers to settle matters in dispute, but shall not act in a manner that coerces any party into settlement, unquote. Now, she's been a judge for 19 years. She declined comment. Smart. Wait on your attorney to speak for you. And her attorney, Michael Close, said he can't believe the complaint was filed. Excuse me, dude, sir. Excuse me? But according to her attorney, this is what he says. Okay. The only thing she's accused of is settling a case, which happens thousands of times a day. According to her attorney, I think it's ludicrous, unquote. That's what her attorney is saying. Now, Judge Brown has until the 4th of this month to respond to a complaint, which was filed by disciplinary counsel Joseph Calgary before the State Board of Professional Conduct. Now, the board will hear the case and recommend to the Ohio Supreme Court whether Brown should face disciplinary sanctions, which can range from a public reprimand to the loss or suspension of her law license. If they find evidence, we will see. Now, in addition to coercion, good people, she is accused of violating parts of the code that requires a judge to avoid the appearance of impropriety, and that he or she, according to every person who has a legal interest in a proceeding or that person's lawyer, the right hand to be heard. Unquote. Now, good people, the courts cannot deny you access to them. And when you're there, they cannot deny you an attorney. And if you have an attorney, they cannot deny you or block you from speaking to them. But apparently she did. Now, this incident occurred this past year, in February. It will be next month, actually, when Brown conducted a hearing on a man's request for a domestic violence civil protection order against his wife during the course of their divorce proceedings. Okay, this is when wives go bad. After denying the man's request, Brown announced that she intended to order week on week out parenting time for the separated couple, the complaint states. Parenting time was part of the divorce case, which was not subject of the hearing. Despite the absence of the husband's attorney, Brown told the wife's attorney to draft an entry in the divorce case regarding parenting time under the terms that the judge dictated to him. Now, good people, despite the absence of the husband's attorney. Now, the husband's attorney wasn't there. So it looks like she sided with the wife's attorney. Now, Judge Brown told the parties that they could not leave the courthouse until they either signed the entry she had dictated or entered into a parenting agreement of their own, the complaint alleges. No, Judge, you can't do that. So you have to wait on this man's attorney for representation. You have to delay that until a later date. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, I'm not a judge, neither am I an attorney. But I've been to many of these court proceedings, participated in them, and been part of them myself, and won, actually. So, but yeah, she really was, I don't know. I would say overstepping her bounds as a judge. Now, good people, I don't know about you, but to me, this sounds like they are being held against their will. You can't do that. Which, if you're not mistaken, is a criminal offense. I wonder, can you hold a judge in contempt? Things that make you go, Now, the estranged couple and the wife's attorney went out into the hallway where the husband signed the entry because he felt he had no other option. So it seems he was made to sign under duress. That's not good, Judge. The complaint notes that when Brown ruled on the parenting time, she had not reviewed any allegations or pleadings in the divorce case. So the judge neglected, let me get this straight, the judge neglected to read. Poor excuse for a judge, in my eyes. Now, at the time of the Browns' ruling, the child was in the father's custody. Franklin County Children's Services had filed a complaint alleging that the child was an abused, neglected, or dependent child while in the mother's care. So mommy was very bad. The mother was permitted only supervised visitation with the child. 6 months after Brown's ruling, the child's court-appointed guardian filed a motion seeking to terminate the mother's access to the child due to her failure to cooperate with the guardian and her positive drug screen for fentanyl. Wow. The complaint states, once again, mommy was being very bad. In response to the guardian's motion, Brown suspended. Now, she finally woke up after this now, after the evidence was presented to her, but she wasn't supposed to do this anyway. She's not supposed to block any of that. But after this, the judge suspended the mother's visitation rights due to her failure to report for a drug screen and a second positive test. Brown was appointed to a vacancy on the bench in 2002 by then Ohio Governor Bob Taft, a Republican. She won the election that November to complete the term and has won re-election 3 times. This may be her last time. Now, she's expected to be on the ballot in November 2022, seeking a 4th 6-year term on the bench, which probably could be her last. Now, good people, I don't know what was this judge's problem. Another elected official gone wild. Now, I hope she knew better. But maybe she just didn't care. This seems to be a pattern lately among these judges who just so happen to be all women. I don't know. Is this good or bad? You tell me. I don't know. Let me know what you think or not. It seems to be a reoccurring pattern all across the country. Well, good luck to her with her election and switching parties, because she's switching from Republican to Democrat, which I don't think they'll be in the White House in 2 years. So until next time, this is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker. Subscribe, share, and like to keep me rocking on the mic. Have a good night.